Good morning, Titans. It's Friday, September 16th, and you're watching Cen10 News on our Titan TV channel. I'm Maria Saldana.
And I'm Mark Capizera. The new year brought about a changing of the guard. Ashley Hilton caught up with Dr. Alicia Mayfies to see what's in store.
Hey Titans, recently we welcomed Dr. Mayfies to her new position as principal. I asked her a couple of questions about the transition.
Every educator is in the job because they love kids. And the farther you step away from the classroom, the less daily continual interaction you have with kids. And that's really hard because they're my motivation. I know they're the motivation of everybody in this building. I have to go seek those kiddos and those interactions out now. And I will do that because I still love kids and that's still my motivation, but it's a bigger challenge now. I love to challenge myself. I don't like maintaining the status quo for very long. I like a constant challenge, and this job definitely keeps me on my toes and is a constant challenge, so that's truly enjoyable to me. My vision of the building has had to change. I've had to expand it to consider 2,400 people instead of maybe the 500 that I interacted with before. You know, I think that was one of the big fears when Mr. Spain said he was going to retire, is that who's the person going to be and are they going to make huge changes to this building that we already know is a great place to work. Anything that would change would just be my personality, not because we need to change anything in this building. My responsibilities have changed when I took on this new role as principal because previous to this, I didn't have to have a whole vision of the whole building. I just had to worry about the areas that I was over, the clubs that I was over, the students that I was responsible for. And now I have to expand that vision and expand that view to think about how things impact the whole campus or how things impact all of our students or all of our teachers. So it's really just a vision change from about a fifth of the school to the entire school.
Reporting for Cen10 News, Ashley Hilton.
Since Dr. Mayfies became principal, there was an assistant principal spot to fill. Reggie Abu Aid has more.
Hey Titans, this is Reggie Abu Aid with Cen10 News. There are many new faces here in CHS, but one of the most significant is our newest AP, Mrs. McDonald. Mrs. McDonald was hired in June 2016, so we decided to interview her to get to know her better and see what her goals and expectations are with Centennial High School. Mrs. McDonald begins by telling us about her past.
I grew up in Arlington, Texas, and I graduated from Bowie High School, and I have worked in Grand Prairie ISD for the past 12 to 13 years as an ELA teacher. I also was a literacy strategist, an academic dean of instruction, an assistant principal. I've had multiple roles.
Mrs. McDonald also says that she plans on treating Centennial students like her own kids.
New day, every day, fresh start. Making sure that I'm respectful to them, they're respectful to me, being a role model, a servant leader, loving on kids, and having high expectations.
Mrs. McDonald later adds on what inspired her to become an assistant principal.
Being a classroom teacher. Being a classroom teacher was very, very rewarding for me, and I actually had a principal to approach me about going into educational leadership.
Reporting for Cen10 News, this is Reggie Abu Aid.
Last Sunday was the 15th anniversary of 9/11, the deadliest attack on American soil. More than 6,000 people were injured and 2,996 people perished in the attacks, including 71 law enforcement officers and 343 firefighters. We would like to take a moment to remember those who were killed and those who risked their lives on that day.
Tragedies can help bring people together. One way to make a difference is to donate blood.
And that just got easier in Frisco. Mutavira Mariah Malay tells us how.
When you're a teenager, you reach milestones such as getting your license when you're 16, being able to vote when you're 18, and the one that we often forget, being able to donate blood when you're 17. Carter Blood Care opened up its newest branch here in Frisco off Main Street and is anticipating for new donors like you to donate blood.
600 to 800 people every day receive a blood transfusion. So keeping in mind that that much blood is used every day, we need to see about 1,000 blood donors on the average every day. So anytime you give blood, I can promise you it is making a difference in someone's life.
What advice would you give to first-time donators who might be scared?
People are afraid of needles. We don't like the idea of needles. But what I always ask a first-time donor to do is imagine the person on the receiving end of this gift. Imagine what they're going through. Someone who receives a blood transfusion is very sick. They probably have multiple needles in their arms for IVs and so forth. They've been stuck multiple times. Maybe they've gone through surgeries. And the needle stick is such a very small part of the whole donation process.
Why are high school blood drives so important?
20+%, probably more like 22, 25% of the annual blood collections for Carter Blood Care come from high school blood drives. Are almost a quarter of the blood collected every year for Carter Blood Care. So we really do count on you. We count on your schools to have excellent blood drives, to get big participation. Cannot overstate enough how important our high school blood drives are to the community, and we really mean that.
This has been Mutavira Marai Malay, Cen10 News.
Hopefully you had a chance to visit the club fair displays during lunch a couple of weeks ago. Here are some of the clubs available.
Get involved, Titans. There are many clubs here for you to join this year. Some of the new clubs are the CHS Cooking Club, sponsored by Miss Hooten and Miss Barton in room F106. International Culture Club, sponsored by Miss Ganation in room A100. Chess Club, sponsored by Coach Hirsch in room BB102. And K-Pop Club, sponsored by Miss Holloman in room BB203. Along with some new clubs, we have some new club sponsors this year as well. Miss Holloman sponsoring the K-Pop Club, Miss Ganation, who sponsors the International Culture Club, Miss Resenbrink, who is one of the sponsors for Stuco, and Miss Ham, the National Art Honor Society sponsor.
Homecoming will be here soon. The game is Friday, September 30th at the Ford Center against Liberty High School.
And the dance follows on Saturday, October 1st. Student council reps tell us what we need to know.
Hey guys, homecoming is coming up on October 1st. The theme this year is Diamonds and Pearls.
And ticket sales begin next week. They're in your B-Day lunches and they cost $15.
So since the dance is formal, you do have to dress nice. So for ladies, just a few don'ts. Don't have an open back or open sides. Your dress can't be below the midriff. Don't have a plunging neckline, and then don't have your bare midriff showing or cutouts or holes. However, you can have strapless and halter dresses, but you keep in mind that your dress has to be fingertip length.
And guys, that means no polo shirts, no t-shirts, no tennis shoes, no jeans, and no sweatpants.
Are you going to the dance with a date or your best friends? How well do you know them? It's time for Best Friends Friday.
Welcome to BFF. This is the new game show where we take two supposed best friends and put them to the test. Our first contestants are Matthew and Christopher Green.
Christopher wants to go to University of Arkansas.
Matthew wants to go to Arkansas with me.
He eats his Oreos normal, like just...
Matthew eats Oreos normally. He doesn't like do anything like weird with them.
Christopher hates Donald Trump the most.
Matthew hates Donald Trump the most. We got a lot of similar answers.
His favorite candy is Twix?
Matthew's favorite candy is Lancaster creams.
Christopher's worst date story, psych. He's been on 0 dates.
Matthew's worst date story is when he went to go see the galas with his girlfriend. He got there and I guess the camera shaking around didn't agree with him, but he went to Barnes & Noble and threw up.
Christopher hates sushi. He thinks the idea of raw fish is gross.
Matthew does like sushi, but he doesn't eat it because I never get it for him.
Another change this year is the partnership with Nike. Connor Denisi has more.
Hey Titans. As you probably remember, last spring Frisco ISD accepted a contract from Nike to make us an all-Nike sponsored district. In turn, our football team got 2 new uniforms this year, one being an all-white uniform and the other being all red. Along with the new uniforms, the team also got a new helmet designs that include a red stripe down the middle, the number on the left side, and the logo on the right. We interviewed some students at the school to see what they think about the new uniforms.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I really like the uniforms because, you know, the red uniform really makes the numbers pop out, and the white uniform is really cool. So they look great.
All right, definitely the white ones because the team looks really intimidating. Yeah.
I like the red ones definitely because I just like red out, and I think they're cool.
Reporting for Cen10 News, this has been Connor Denisi.
Next week is a football bye week, but still wear your Titan gear on Friday. And tonight, the ladies volleyball teams play at Wakeland. Games begin at 5:30 with varsity playing at 6:15.
Hey Titans, during events such as football games and competitions, it's important to behave appropriately at these events. At the first game at the Star facility after the Centennial versus Frisco game, the entire student section was covered in trash. Regardless of whether or not there was trash already there, everyone in the student section should clean up after themselves at the games. This would allow easier cleanup for those who have to clean up after the games. Also, we need to be more respectful to other schools during halftime performances because it shows that we support them just like we support our team.
Juniors and seniors, next Wednesday, September 21st, there will be a college fair at Heritage High School from 6 to 8 p.m. If you plan on attending the fair, make sure to register on gocollegefair.com.
Thanks for watching this week's show. Be sure to check out our website, www.cen10news.com. and follow us on Twitter at Cen10 News.